A few weeks ago, a listener left a comment. I'm not going to use his name. His spouse may be listening, and the man, he's suffered enough. He wrote, and I'm going to paraphrase only slightly, that because of this show, he had just bought a watch he could not afford from a country he could not spell, and that he'd been instructed by his wife to, quote, take it up with the podcast. So he did, and I did. I took it up with the podcast with the help of my attorney friend, who is actually a real attorney and who asked me to make clear that this does not constitute legal advice. I drafted a formal apology to all of you and to all the loved ones. Okay, here we go. Try to keep my straight face going.
Truck slows down at noon. I'm gone by the front gate. Sign my name like a ghost. Slide the box through the side.
Okay, to all affected parties, subject to the influence of the What's on Your Riste podcast, directly from Watchovski and all subsidiaries here and there too, to your spouses, to your loved ones, and to your pets. My wife, my legal team have required me to apologize to all significant others for what this podcast has caused and will cause in the future. I'm not entirely sure what legal obligations will follow. I am working to get ahead of the media frenzy that apparently is coming. So let me take this moment. The What's on Your Riste podcast sincerely apologizes for any undue hardship you may endure as a result of your spouse suddenly developing strong opinions about hand finishing, German silver, tritium tubes, lug-to-lug measurement, and whether a watch is, quote, too derivative. We apologize for the phrase, but honey, it's actually a great value proposition. We apologize for packages arriving that are described as, quote, just a strap, but maybe 3 to 4 pounds. We apologize for dinner conversations that somehow become discussions of independent watchmaking, service intervals, and, unfortunately, the historical significance of an obscure diver issued to a naval unit in 1978. And most of all, we apologize for introducing your loved ones to watches that they never knew existed and now cannot stop thinking about. I'm sorry. Genuinely, I am sorry. Please know that any financial decisions made after hearing this podcast are the sole responsibility of the listener. We merely provide information. Excessive enthusiasm at times, late night browsing, yes, and the sudden urge to sell 3 watches to buy 1 watch are all known side effects. Respectfully, Watchovski Esquire, also known as not an actual lawyer. Let's get into this one. My goodness, welcome to the Intermission. This is the episode that I wanted to do in between seasons 1 and season 2. And the reason I want to do this is because we are impacting people in almost 20 countries now. Stop it. Like you're making, 1, that's not possible, and 2, that's impossible. Welcome to the folks, and this is going to sound crazy. Let me read them off to you so you can see how insane this has gotten, okay? Welcome to our listeners in Thailand, South Africa, Denmark, Belgium, Norway, Croatia, India, Poland, Switzerland, Australia, Japan, Ireland, Austria, the United Kingdom, and all those subsidiaries of the United Kingdom, Costa Rica, Canada, and of course, the United States. This is ridiculous. Now, season 1 is behind us. Season 2 is loaded and waiting. And what I mean by that is I have my notes and I'm ready to roll. And in between this, I wanted to do one episode that I've been collecting material since like the first week of doing this, because every single one of you keeps handing me information in the comments or a message directly, and they're just getting too good. This is the episode about the lies, okay? Not the big ones. We're not talking about anything serious here. We're talking about the little ones, like the white lies. You know, the phrase is technically true in spirit if you kind of squint a little bit. You know, the package, that is, and I want to be precise here, you know, that you just said was just a strap. And here's the thing I wanna say up front again, because I try to use that phrase honestly as many times as I can, as much as I use the word considered in the first half of season 1. This is this kinda show, right? Every one of these lies is about love. That is the secret. Nobody hides a watch box from a person they don't care about. You hide it because you want the thing, right, the watch, and you also want the peace in the household. And you're trying to hold both of those two things in your hand at the same time. This is a very human position to be in. Do you see how I rationalize that? This is why I get in trouble in my own marriage. We are going to laugh at ourselves, and then right at the end, I am going to tell you what is actually underneath all of that. So, does that sound like a deal? Okay, let's go. We begin with some math because before any lie reaches another person, it has to clear customs in your own brain first. So let's get into the customs in your own skull. This is the art of rationalization. You just saw me do it above earlier. The negotiation you're going to have with yourself in like the parking lot before you hit confirm, okay? So you're sitting there, you're looking at this thing, you're debating it, your fingers on the trigger, right? There is the kind of decimal slide, we're gonna call this. The watch costs maybe $6,000, but when you say it out loud, even to yourself, $6,000 is a lot. So $6,000 becomes like 6. 6 is a friendly number. 6 could be anything. 6 is a sandwich. There is the trade. Like you say things such as, I basically traded for it. And that is true. You traded. You also added a quantity of cash on top of what you elected to either trade that is either on or off the record. We have a running joke in my house with my wife. I'll say something like, I got this watch, and she'll say, cool, how much did it cost? I'll say, I traded for it. And she'll say, what did you trade for it? And I'll say, $300 or $3,000 or whatever it is, right? I did trade, I just traded a large sum of money for it, right? There's also the argument of the cost per wear, which is like the most beautiful lie in all of collecting because it's built entirely out of the future. And what we call this in investing is speculative markets, right? If I wear this watch once a week for 40 years and then my heir inherits it, then really, when you do the arithmetic, the watch is actually free. Actually, it's better than free because the watch is actually making money. I can't afford not to buy this watch, honey. There's also the responsible purchase. Look, it's pre-owned. So really, I'm actually being frugal here. I found a more expensive way to feel thrifty, but I still feel really great about it. And there's the big one, the investment, right? It holds its value, and it does, or it might. It holds its value beautifully. We know this because we are never, ever going to sell it to find out, but it was an investment. None of this lying to anyone else, but really to ourselves. This is just kind of getting yourself across the border in your own brain, getting through customs so that you can kind of go and get what you want to get. So hold on to that thought. Now let's talk about logistics in section 2. There's now the watch has to physically arrive to you, and this, friends, is where the hobby turns quietly into like I guess a spy thriller. You probably, like I do, know your drivers by name. I know all of mine by name. You do. Like there's a nod, there is an understanding, and now this man or woman in brown shorts who has over time, they've become like this accomplice in your marriage, and he or she doesn't even know that they are complicit in some major issues in your in your relationship. You understand, and I do too, the duty and brokerage protocols of like FedEx and UPS and DHL at a level that frankly exceeds actual customs agents. And you've probably sent them messages saying, look, you charged me and you did your mathematics on a 21 jewel watch, but this watch is only a single jewel quartz. And so I need you to update your math. And then I need this. This is the amount of refund that I'm requesting. You probably take brokerage calls in your garage. You're probably whispering. You've probably stepped outside to take phone calls. And like a man, possibly, or a woman, that you've received classified instructions, which emotionally I think you are doing that. You have shipped to an office. The front desk person at your office has seen some stuff. The front desk person could end you. The front desk person could end me. The front desk person at this point has become family. They're on your payroll. They could blackmail you and they own you. Your time signature required for a day is in or out, which is kind of fun. And then a package arrives and we reach the first appearance of our friend. Hey, it's just a strap. We know it's not just a strap. But here's like the genuinely impressive part that we've come to lie to ourselves. It's technically not a lie either because the strap is in the box, so the strap is real. The strap is simply not the reason the box weighs what it weighs. And so you've told the truth kind of so narrowly that it's become kind of this art form, and you could teach like a seminar on it. You shouldn't teach a seminar on it. Don't get any ideas, but what you could. Now, segment three, I want to get into the Watch English Dictionary because this is the part that the listeners have supported the most, and I'm kind of excited to share it. This is going to bring us to the centerpiece. The years of field work that we have, they've allowed us to assemble this. We're going to call this the first edition of the Watch to English Dictionary. It's a translation guide. We could say something along the lines of like what we say, but what we actually really mean. So I'm going to read this sort of slowly, and I want you to try to sit with each one. Now, my editing software might truncate some of this stuff, but I will do my best to space it out. Okay, we're going to begin with the acquisitions. It's an investment. Translation, I will never sell this, and we both know it. The next one, I basically traded for it. Translation, I traded plus a large sum of cash I will never disclose to you. Next one, this is my grail. Translation, this is my grail until the next grail. Next one, after this one, I am done. Translation, I am not done. Okay, last one, I promise. No, literally, I mean last one, I promise. Translation, see the previous entry, which is, I'm not done. Now, the arrivals, let's say that things have come to your home. You'll say things like, or you'll hear your spouse or significant other say something like, it's just a strap. Translation, it's not a strap. It's more than a strap. It's so much more than a strap. You might hear something like, oh, it's been on the porch for a while. Translation, that landed like a few seconds ago and I sprinted to get to it. I blew out my hamstring. Please call someone. Next one, I think it's something for the house. Translation, oh my goodness, it is not something for my house. It's something for my wrist, and it's going to be amazing. Let's talk about concealment. Now, you might say something like, or I've heard this one, I've had this for years. Translation, I've had this since approximately lunchtime. The translation of something, and my wife does this with dresses and things as well, and jewelry. This old thing, translation, the plastic was still on the watch this morning. Okay, next one. When someone asks about a watch and they know your collection, they say something like, you might say, I sold that one. And the translation, it's in the safe. You might say something like, it's at service. Translation, it's also in the safe next to the one that I said I sold. Let's talk about collection management. I got a couple of these most recently. When you say things like, and I've said this, I'm thinning out the herd. I'm thinning out the collection. I'm consolidating. I'm getting it down to a manageable level. Any of those variants. The translation becomes, somehow this became a net gain of 2. Somehow. You might hear things like one in, one out. Translation, one in, thought about that, kept it, got another one. Crap. Next one, I sold 3 to buy 1. Translation, the math on that sentence is doing a great deal of heavy lifting. Nothing got sold. Somehow, I sold 3 watches, I got 1, and then I got 3 more. I don't understand how I got to a net 4 on this. And finally, this is kind of be the section of the connoisseur's cover. I just appreciate the engineering. I've said that before. Translation, I just appreciate the engineering. You may own 9 dive watches and you might be afraid of the ocean. It is a scary place sometimes. I can attest to that. You might say things or hear things such as, I'm really a one watch guy or gal at heart. Translation, my heart and my watch box would disagree with my statement. Next question, next statement. I don't care about resale. Translation, I refresh watch charts every single day. I refreshed it during the middle of this sentence. I know exactly how much my collection is worth. I don't want to talk about it. This watch you might hear something like, it speaks to me. Translation, it costs a lot and I needed a reason, and that's the only reason I could come up with. Now, this is kind of just the first edition. It's going to be a living document. You people keep writing to me and giving me entries, and I'm going to be grateful for this. Maybe we'll turn it into an actual dictionary someday, or somebody will take this and steal my idea and then use AI or something to build it out. But please, if you do, maybe throw me I don't know, a heads up or a nod or a wink. All right, section 4. Let's get to the letters from the outside. This is going to shift a little bit. I'm going to do my best to include some parts of texts and quotes and messages that I got from some folks. Let me get some water. My voice is gone today. Okay, now I wouldn't be doing my job if I let the spouses go without some sort of a microphone or a megaphone, I guess, in this case, especially since they're the ones that got my attorneys involved. When you start collecting, there's some things that we don't talk about, and I think the funniest or the truest thing in this entire hobby is nothing to do with the watches, right? That was in episode 21, which is really kind of the intermission one that I'd snuck in kind of in the middle of the season. Your partner got dragged into this, and it was against their will. Let's be honest about that. They were rolling their eyes the whole way, and then somehow some of them actually became like the worst offenders of this. So just know that the monsters that you've created are your fault. They're not mine. Don't you try to blame it on me. Now, I asked some of these folks that I've gotten had reach out to me in the past. I actually had them reach out to me again and give me some of these. So I'm going to read these lightly edited with some names removed. So let's get into these. Okay. Again, with permission. First one. When he says he is really a one watch guy at heart, what I hear is he is happy and the box is hidden behind the ski boots again. I have known about the ski boots for 2 years. I let him have the ski boots. So just a heads up, if you are hiding your watches, you know who you are. If you are hiding your watches behind the ski boots, your significant other knows that they're there. Find a new spot. Next one. He told me he sold the green one. It's in the safe. I have the code to the safe. We have never discussed that, and I have the code to the safe. I check on the green one sometimes. It's a nice watch. He's right about that. But I will deny that I said so. Third one, and this is this is my favorite. I started hating it. I thought it was a silly thing for grown men. And then one night he showed me how the light moves across the dial of something that he could not stop talking about. And this hand finishing thing. Hand finishing means something very different to me. Well, okay, that's about as colorful as this language is going to get in this show. And I understood it for about 4 seconds. That was the mistake. Now I own two. He does not know about the second one. That is amazing. That's amazing. And I'm writing to your podcast instead of telling him, please don't say my name. I will not. That's it. That's the whole thing. It was never about the watch. It's a two-person household now, and somehow, somewhere, a person who did not care learned to see the light move across the dial because somebody that they love couldn't stop talking about it. What a beautiful way to lie to your significant other in this whole hobby. This is the lie that we get when you get to the end, which is kind of fun. So now let me get into my terms and conditions, okay? Before we close, this is just a quick one. If you hear my gardeners, I feel like all I do is record when the gardeners are here. I am so sorry. So before we close, the legal team, which is, an attorney that has a good sense of humor with me, he's asked me to read this following kind of quickly, sort of the way that I do kind of at an end of a car commercial, but I'm not going to read it super quickly because I already talk super fast. And you might be listening to this on, apparently, I found out that people listen to it on like 1.2 or 1.5, which sounds like me talking super, super fast, which is crazy. I wonder how the music sounds if you're speeding it up, but whatever. Okay. So by continuing to listen to this program, you acknowledge the following known side effects: enthusiasm, late night browsing, saved searches that ping like a slot machine, the phrase, but honey, a sudden and powerful urge to sell 3 watches in order to buy one, in order to end up with 4 more, knowing that a delivery driver by name, you should probably be taking care of them. I know mine. We have a special place. They get drinks and snacks. It's a whole thing. Okay, you know all of your delivery drivers by name as well. I'm talking to the people that I know here. You're going to refer to a strap as just a strap when it's demonstrably not just a strap. We all know that. I also understand that a class action has been threatened by an organized group of spouses. We're in talks. We are hopeful. We are also quietly recommending several of them very nice watches, some of them two-tone Cartiers. They are gorgeous because the two of the lead plaintiffs have already asked kind of off record that they would like to try to find something under $2,000, and I'm working as hard as I can. Watchovski, Esquire. I'm still not a lawyer. All right, that is the intermission. Okay, let me run this joke all the way out one more time. Any financial decisions you make are your own. Just me, I provide just information. The packages I know will still arrive. They will keep being just straps, and that's okay. That's why we're friends. But here's the truth I promised you at the very, very top. I'm going to drop this bit just to kind of say it. We don't hide these things because we're ashamed of the watches. We hide them because we're a little shy about how much we love something and how much it costs to love it out loud. The white lie is just kind of the gap between wanting the thing and also wanting peace in our household. And like every collector, I think, lives in that little gap space in between those two things. Why does every person who loves a collector have to have somebody that has a collector that isn't a collector? They just do. I think the question is more along the lines of like, so does every person who loves a collector have to be this way? Maybe. I don't know. So if your spouse comes home this week and there's a box and they say with completely straight face, it's just a strap, maybe this week just let them have it. They're happy. You know it. They're not yelling. They're not punching walls, right? When we come back, it's going to be season 2. I'm not going to tell you what's in it yet. I don't kind of do that anymore, but I'm going to try my best to kind of give you content that's exciting. I'm Watchovski. Wear something good. And yeah, I got to go open up a box. There's just a strap in it.
The truck slows down at noon. I'm gone by the front gate. Sign my name like a ghost. Slide the box through the side door. I tip the driver cash. He nods and keeps it moving. You hear the floorboard creak. I freeze and hold my breath. Same old look, same old grin. New excuse, let me in. If you ask, I say it clean. Nothing here but what you seen. It's just a strap.
It's just a strap.
Don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
It's just a strap.
Just a strap, baby.
Keep it all wrapped.
Keep it all safe for me.
I tuck the cotton deep behind the winter coats, under the old gym bags, where your eye won't go. You ask me how many now, I laugh and change the topic. You ask me what they cost, I say not as much as you think. Same old look, same old grin. New excuse, let me in. If you ask, I say it clean. Nothing here but what you seen. It's just a strap.
It's just a strap.
Don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
It's just a strap.
Just a strap, baby.
Keep it all wrapped.
Keep it all safe for me.
Room to room, I move so slow. One more box and I'm gone. I know every place to hide, every life ever used. If the doorbell rings again, I'm already on the case. Smile like I don't know why. My hands are shaking in place. It's just a strap.
It's just a strap.
Don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
It's just a strap.
Just a strap, baby.
How many don't ask that? How much? Better not ask me. It's just a strap.
It's just a strap.
Hide it fast.